Let Daddy just feed the fish a minute so we can get some fishes coming, yeah?
It was a warm summer night when Beryl and Benny Badger decided they would go fishing. Gathering up their bags and fishing rods, they made their way out of Badger Village towards the river which runs around the castle, standing high on the hill. I really wanted something of Jack to be passed to his family because he was unable to do it. They didn't know him. The only thing that I could pass on to them was his fishing that I knew about because I used to go fishing with Jack, and it was just something that I knew that I could hopefully pass on, which is what I did to Derek, took him. And then of course Derek did that when Richard was born. As Richard got so immersed in his fishing, obviously I couldn't help thinking, oh God, if Jack was here, he'd be there in the morning at 4 o'clock. I say I took Derek out with his fishing rod and line, but yes, he had to progress to that. When we lived in Shefford, we were very lucky. There was a stream, a river that ran right by the house. You could see it from where we were. And Derek and Karen was here by then. And of course they wanted to go over to the river, and like them all, but obviously being a very responsible mother, I wouldn't have let them go over there by themselves. I don't know even to this day whether there were fish in that river. But what I did was I got a cane, a stick, and a piece of wire, and an old stocking, and tied it round this hoop on this stick and a piece of wire, put a knot in the bottom of it, took them both over there with these little fishing nets and a jam jar with a piece of string round it to carry it, and I used to take them over, sort of just outside the back door almost, and take them both over there, and they would then sit with this fishing net in the water, trying to catch tiddle or something. Birds can be so uplifting. They're always calling and talking to each other. They answer each other in their own bird song, I suppose, if you could understand their bird song. But it always gives a very nice light atmosphere around you. They're in the trees, quite happy, singing their song. They can forget about their trauma, their grief, for a few minutes, few hours, because they've got something else to focus on. And by focusing on something else, it's taking them out of themselves, out of what they are feeling, how sad they might be feeling at that time, and giving them a little bit of hope and happiness. You can only move through grief and trauma by taking it one step at a time, one day at a time. And each day that you take, it might seem so dark at that moment, but each day that darkness lightens a little. It gets less and less. Let's just go and sit down by the local river, by the local canal, put the rod in the rod and line in the water, sit there for a few minutes, be together, which is what you desperately need, to be together. Don't isolate yourself from anyone. My granddaughter Millie, she used to go along with Richard sometimes, and she was actually in a fishing competition, and she actually beat Richard. Much to his disgust, she won the competition, and I think he came second or third or something like that, but to be beaten by your sister in a fishing competition, I don't think she let him live it down. But over time, fishing has become more and more a popular thing, not just for men. It used to be, but I think women are becoming more and more involved, as they should, into the fishing fraternity. How does it help a child? Because, in a way, it gives them something else to focus on. Because within fishing, it's not just putting your rod and line in the water. You've got to learn the way to do that properly. You've got to learn how to look after the fish, take it off the hook, and then most important, to put the fish back at the end of the day. So I do think it gives you another interest, it gives you another focus, and especially doing that, you are out in the fresh air, and there is nothing better than being out in the fresh air to clear your mind, to just take sometimes the darker thoughts away, just to be with nature. And so yes, it can be a great help for children. Take your children there. Get a rod and line, sit on the river bank together, and that will give you the opportunity to go through things with them, and they will have questions and you'll be able to answer them. Put your arms around them and hold them close. Oh, crikey. So I do think and I do feel that hopefully the message here, we all have things in our life, we all have things in our past that we have to come to terms with, that we have to go through. And grief can be really, really draining. It can be really knock you back. It's unless you've been through it, it's very hard to describe. Whatever grief, whatever problems, whatever mental health problems you have, you can come through it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and your life can go on.